Greetings, everyone. We graciously welcome all our listeners to this third episode of the podcast series by Health Tech Club, VIT Bhopal, where we explore the depths of technology and healthcare and also familiarize ourselves with the concept of what this new area, what health informatics and what all the related fields means. And we also dive into our respected guests' backgrounds and their stories. So this evening, with all the excitement and all the giddy up, we will be listening to Ms.Aliva Das Mohapatra, who's currently working as the healthcare analyst at Sathguru Management Consultants. A very hearty welcome to you, ma'am. And before we start on the wagon and begin boosting our knowledge, I would like to know your opinion about how do you think do you feel coming on this podcast?
Thank you, Aditya, for this gracious welcome. So I'm very happy to join all the students. I'm happy to hear that there's a podcast which can give a career advice to this domain specifically, biotech, biomed, bioinformatics, because it's very rare to find podcasts which can give the transition from college to career in that sense. So I'm happy to join here, and I hope the listeners also get some value from getting into the world of consulting.
Yes, ma'am, they sure would. And we are very happy to have you. And the domains that you would be exploring and helping us to explore as well. We want to talk about what kind of jobs and what kind of responsibilities does your current role consist of?
Okay. So currently I'm working as a healthcare consultant at Sathguru Management Consulting, and it's a life sciences advisory firm. So in simple language, we are working towards innovation advisory, growth marketing, strategy in these kind of fields. So whenever a company has to suppose set up a manufacturing plant, or it has to expand its services into vaccines and other specialized niche areas, so they can take advisory help from our firm. That is how consulting works. And to give a broad idea about what kind of work we do, so broadly it's divided into two parts: secondary research and primary research. Secondary research involves market research, market sizing, benchmarking our competitors against our company to get a broad perspective of where it stands currently. And then we have primary research. In primary research, we talk to the industry stakeholders, to the experts to get an idea about whether the information we have received in the secondary research is being actually validated by the experts in that field. So that is how we come together in a consulting firm. And the sides that we explore are mostly the demand side and the supply side to find who are the right competitors and judge ourselves amongst them and how we can improve amongst them.
Those are actually very spectrum of responsibilities. I mean, I started counting on my fingers and I ran out of such broad responsibilities. I am sure that every listener out there has gotten excited about this role just the way you introduced it. So, ma'am, my next question follows is a degree from biotechnology, right? And going for this consulting firm and consulting job, how did that pan out?
Okay. So in biotech, we have a lot of subjects like mol bio, microbio, bio business. So there was this one subject called bio business in VIT Vellore campus, which really got me excited into learning more about this field, where how innovation goes from a product stage to a market stage. If there's a product or if there's a research in lab, how do we take it forward and bring it to the market, to the audience? So that really got me excited to learn more about it. And then I realized that consulting firms are the one who are bridging the gap between these two. So that's how I got more excited into this world and learning about how financial modeling works, how we think about how a innovation firm or a innovation in the biotech industry can be brought to the market by taking finances and industry stakeholders into sight. So that's how I got into consulting.
Well, that's one hell of a journey, ma'am. I mean, if you could give us rights, we would like to produce a series about it as well.
Absolutely.
So, ma'am, like talk about different kind of fields in biotechnology, and like one field that always confuses us is that we go with the little IQ that we have, and we process bioinformatics and biotechnology as the same field. Like it's bio, it should be same. So, ma'am, could you actually inform our listeners that what is the difference between these two fields?
So I'll tell you the three fields which are available in VIT Vellore campus right now, which are all about biology, biotech, bioinformatics, and biomedical. So biotech encompasses all the subjects which are related to biology, but more towards the research domain and how it can be integrated with the tech part of it that refers to the product part of it. That encompasses biotech. Then we have bioinformatics. Bioinformatics is actually computer science and extension of computer science into biology. So, for example, how machine learning can be used for cancer detection. That kind of concept will be under bioinformatics because that's an extension of CSE. And next we go to biomedical. So biomedical is more of an extension of ECE, which is electronics and communication. So if we want to, for example, produce a device which can do diabetes detection, or maybe we can develop a device which can do glaucoma detection, that will be under biomedical. So biotech is more of a broader field, whereas if you want to get into the niche of it, then bioinformatics comes, which is an extension of CSE, and biomedical is again another niche of it, which is the extension of ECE.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, thank you for such an insight. I mean, like most of our listeners, they must be preparing for competitive exams and whatnot, and they might be confused with such varied fields.
Right.
Now they might have gotten a better insight about it. So, ma'am, like it's biotechnology is like any other engineering degree, and
Mhm.
with any other engineering degree, you get internships and whatnot. You go for that. So, just could you elaborate your journey with internships?
Right. So I had two internships. One was in NTPC, which was National Thermal Power Corporation, and it was in the quality field, which was in the water lab. That was my first internship. And the second one was a more interesting one, which I did alongside my college as a kind of side hustle. So I was part of the VIT startup group, and the startup's name is Alphalius. It's it's a perimeter for glaucoma detection. So we work on a device called V39, which is for glaucoma detection, and it is mostly working more towards biomedical. I was working as a product management intern where I had to work with different teams and coordinate with the finances and the sales and the research, the R&D and the grants department. So that helped me a lot in understanding how a product has so many different arenas when they come up together in the product stage. Because research is a different field. It's a very small field where you have to only focus on the device. But when you're taking it on a grand scale, when you're launching it in the market, there are so many stakeholders involved. There are the scientists who are working on it. Then there are the people who are providing the grant, who are the financiers. Then there are people like doctors. Then we have to do clinical trials. So there are patients involved. There are hospitals. There are scientific journals, and we have to keep a track of it. For grants, also, there are so many applications. So that was a very interesting and enriching process for me.
Okay.
So that was interesting. So it's a startup incubated under VIT.
Oh, nice. I would like to warn you, ma'am. You just admitted to your side hustle on a public forum.
I mean, that was way back in third year in college.
And I don't think so. If they hold grudges, then it's it would be a problem. So,
I
yes,
mean, it
ma'am.
was incubated under VIT. So, one thing I would like to tell all the students is that do work in a startup for some time, especially if VIT is giving you that ecosystem to build on it. Because with classes also, you can manage that. And at least in VIT Vellore, in the TT lab, we had those startups incubated and their offices were there. So it will give
Okay.
you a very good platform to learn how in the real world things happen.
That's a very nice insight, ma'am. I mean, we are also students, and we are learning a lot from you right now. That we should also approach this part. I mean, we are lazy. We are not going to do that, but we shall try. So, ma'am, the next question that I would like to ask you is that you pursue certain internships and you pursue certain career, but there are certain skills that you might require in that role. So, would you be comfortable enough to elaborate upon those skills?
So in consulting, I feel like for secondary research, especially where I was explaining about how market sizing happens, how we do competitor benchmarking. First of all, the tools which we require are Excel is very important, especially for all the quantitative analysis. And there needs to be a analytical bent of mind. I use this term a lot, bent of mind, but that is required because when you see a huge data set, your mind should automatically relate about how it can affect the business or how the financial modeling can be correlated with the data. So I feel MS Excel is very important, especially we look up pivot tables and nested loops. These are
Yes.
some things which college doesn't teach us, but I feel like in every consulting firm you will require this. So MS Excel is required, and for visualizations, the tools which we usually use are Power BI, Tableau, and for bigger data sets, some organizations use SQL as well as Python. But I feel like if you are going from a biology background, then learning MS Excel would be a good start to it.
Yes, I mean, we are also realizing that what kind of power MS Excel holds. I mean, we took it for granted when we were in school years, like, who learns that? And now it's like coming back with a vengeance kind of thing.
True.
um, so, ma'am, would you like to share any story, like some interesting story about your career, about the internships or anything?
So there's a very interesting story about my internship journey, especially in the startup culture which I was talking about. So there was a hackathon by Bayer in Germany where our team lead wanted to go, but at that time we were facing a fund crunch, and there were some people who were leaving the startup because they were passing out or they were going for other organizations. So there was a bug which was required to be fixed, but at that time we were facing a cash crunch, so we were thinking how we can come up with a plan. So we realized that there are so many engineers in VIT and there are so many hackathons in VIT. If we provide our bug as a problem statement in one of the hackathons, that would actually help us solve the bug as well as erase the problem of the cash crunch. And that actually worked. We gave our problem statement at the VIT hack with the promise of 3 month internship. And our team, one of the team members, he had organized that, and one guy won, and we were able to solve that problem. And Alphalius went to the Bayer hackathon, and we were taken as third rank in one of the innovative medicines department.
I mean, when you were talking about the bent of mind, the analytical part, this is the example of bent of mind in the analytical part. Like, you took a problem and you presented it like, this is an opportunity, this
Hmm.
kind of thing, and that's a very, I would say, an analytical thinking, I would like to call it. And I also hope that someone tricks me into getting a 3 month internship like that. That would be just awesome. I won't be even angry about that. So, and for the listeners, I would like to tell that Miss Aliva has an Instagram account where she shares her biology and biobusiness and life sciences exploration as well. So, ma'am, would you like to talk about the content that is over there?
So this started as a COVID project while I was doing my internship at Sathguru SNC. So I was at home and I thought, if I'm learning so much about life sciences, why not share these small tips and tricks about life sciences in daily life? For example, the topics which I share about there are why doesn't why doesn't honey have an expiry date, or why are beer bottles mostly brown or green? So small things in life which we see every day, but we really don't know the science behind it. So that aim to kind of use my learnings to educate other people. And I started making reels during that time. And luckily, the page kind of did well, and I'm still hoping to be more active on the platform. And the page name is Aliva underscore DM, by the way.
So all the listeners, please follow Miss Aliva. I mean, you waste your time on Instagram with nothing. I mean, you could learn something valuable. I mean, you can learn something valuable about beer. You know, that's everybody wants to learn something valuable about that. So, yes, Miss Aliva. So, I mean, with this content, Instagram, COVID. Uh, yes, it traveled a lot, and you know what? You took COVID, and you took the time in COVID, and you created an Instagram account and everything. But what else, like in the career wise, in the career direction, what else did you took time during COVID? Like, what else did you explore there?
So during COVID was the time when I started my internship with SNC. So that is when I learned MS Excel and Power BI. Actually, that was a learning journey because what we think is college prepares us for the job, but it does prepare us in learning the basics of the subject. But there are certain tools which you have to gain proficiency over to do well in your job. So MS Excel and Power BI were two tools which I was learning during that time.
Yes.
Also, the point which I'm telling about analytical bent of mine. So after doing the data sets, how you present it in PowerPoint is also very important. PowerPoint, all of us have been using from ages,
Yes.
but to make professional level slides so that the information is concise and easy to understand for the client is also an art in itself. It's an art of storytelling in itself. So that is also something I learned a lot during the first year of my job. And for everyone who's listening, these few things which I'm telling are very important if you're going to be a consultant in future.
Yes, ma'am. These things, we take it as trivial information, like PowerPoint. Everybody knows PowerPoint. Everybody knows how to do it. Like, but the way that you make a presentation actually creates a lot of difference. I
Hmm.
mean, as kids, we just went bozonkers on the animations and everything, which we now realize that it's not a very good practice. So Ms. Leva, that was all that we pretty much wanted to know from you. Pretty much wanted for you to share with us the information and everything. And is there anything else, ma'am, you want to share with us? Is there anything exciting, any kind of story? We would love to know that.
So, one tip which I'd like to give all the students, all the college students, is that during college time, explore everything. Explore all the subjects of education, explore clubs and chapters, explore startup culture. If there are hackathons going on in your college, actively participate in that. You don't, from a lot of my friends, they used to think in second year that they won't win or they won't have that kind of knowledge which is required to win a hackathon, but every skill is built up by practice. The
Yes,
more you take part in it, the more you understand how things work. That is what will help you gain the skills in future. And all these experiences will be a culmination later on when you actually get a job or when you actually work in the real world. So all these things will help you a lot, and VIT as a college provides a lot of opportunities as well. So make sure that you use those opportunities and
yes, ma'am.
you will be good, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, we go to hackathons and like enlist in all of those with the skills of our Hello World programming not even working. We go with those skills, and we when we sit down and we face against other people's, we're like, okay, so what are your skills? And they're like, yeah, I created this program, I created that program. I helped someone with this program. And at that point of time, we are like, you know what? I'll keep my money. I'll just take my registration form away right now. So thank you, Ms. Aliva, for joining us and sharing such a wonderful and valuable knowledge with us. I mean, we all gain an insight about this. Actually, it's a very new field for a lot of people. And like for most of the kids, like I was also going for competition back a few years, and we know that with biology you can do a lot of things. We always thought that no, biology is and NEET are synonymous and everything, but you gave us insight about all the other fields, all the other fields that we can contribute and uh, gain insights and also create immaculate things with that. And I would like to thank the listeners for tuning into our episode. We hope that you enjoyed our discussion, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on socials. We love listening from our listeners, so please, in case of any queries or any comments, please just mention in the comment window. And thank you, ma'am. Thank you again for joining us, and hope you enjoyed your time here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Aditya.
Thank you, ma'am. So, as we come to the end of the podcast, the listeners, I hope the listeners also enjoyed it, and I hope, ma'am, we didn't, you know, we didn't mess up your schedule or anything.
No, no.
I
I'd be more
mean,
than happy to talk to all the college students and learn more from them.
we are college students. We have a messed up schedule. We are used to it, and we wake up at unprecedented hours, and we just wake up at before even the sun rises. Even sometimes the sun says that, like, just go to sleep, man. I know, and that's very nice to hear that, ma'am. You do that, and I mean, based on the Instagram account that you have, we went there and we explored that, and then we came back to our Instagram account and we said, well, what are we doing with our lives? We gained weight and all of that, not any kind of knowledge. So yes, really thank you for joining us, ma'am, and this marks the end of our podcast.